So I was getting comments saying if I was enjoying off-roading in Forza Horizon 4 or 3 or something like that, that I may not end up enjoying Forza Horizon 2 because it's a tad different, or it doesn't really focus fully on off-roading like those games do. And the thing is, I could say that probably is fairly accurate. Now, don't get me wrong, there is obviously off-road races. You have the extreme off-road, you have regular off-road, you also have modern rally, 90s rally, vintage, and stuff like that. So there's a big difference of races there that you can do. And also, funnily enough, you will probably find yourself doing races in supercars or other class races on cross country, which was kind of making me laugh. But with me liking off-roading, I was still enjoying it. And funny part is, I gotta admit something real quick right off the bat, guys, something I did not even know, is simply down to the fact that I could buy the off-road tires. They had the Storm Island thing on the bottom of them, and initially I was like, oh, I can't get those because I don't have the DLCs, and then I proceeded to go and click on it, and it turns out I can buy it. So, yeah, that's definitely something. But with me being a new player here on Forza Horizon 2 and in 2026, I gotta admit, I found the off-roading in this game way more fun than I expected. Now, sure, the map may not be as open or something like that as Forza Horizon 3. Like, I did notice in this game, you'll find guardrails in different areas that you can't drive to or, go over. But the biggest thing I did notice with off-roading in Forza Horizon 2, though, is there is still plenty of big areas you can explore. And on top of that, there is a lot of different races you can do. One thing, personally, I really enjoyed a lot about this game, guys. I'm not even going to lie. I spent a lot of time doing this. You'll see in the background, I did end up finding one of these trail types here when I was driving around. These aren't necessarily on your map, so to speak, but it is basically a trail that will go into other trails around, like mountains in different areas. And I'm going to be real, I spent a lot of time in these. I think I was messing around trying to find more of these trails for like upwards of 40 minutes. I would drive the Raptor around trying to find different ones. I'd cruise around them, go fast, or, find the trails and just mess around. Now, again, these are not part of the map, but something I really did enjoy. So I was like, okay, well, this game may not have a ton of off-roading stuff, right? And with me being a new player, playing Forza Horizon 3 and 4, you probably go into it thinking it'd be like those, right? And yeah, it is different. Like, the cars may handle a bit differently off-road. Maybe you don't have as many off-road courses or, off-road areas. Like, I did notice in Forza Horizon 4, there's a lot more dirt roads and different things for races in that game that you'd have that maybe Forza Horizon 2 doesn't have or something. But even then, though, I still found a lot of joy in the races in this game. I really did have a great time going through and just doing different racing, like rally cars or even the extreme off-roads and stuff like that, just flying down mountains in like a Subaru or doing different rally races. Now, I will admit, when you probably hear rally, you're most likely like, okay, well, this will probably be a rally race on dirt roads, most likely not going cross-country or something, right? Well, in this game, I did notice that you will probably have a lot of the cross-country type of events, and at first, I was kind of on the side of maybe people might want to do more of the rallycross focus, like when, you're on a full-on dirt road or something, or, mainly focused on rallycross, so you'd see in dirt or something like that. But that's obviously a little bit different in this game, and I gotta admit, at first I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. I wonder how people felt about this, especially with maybe wanting more of that. But we all do know this map wasn't fully focused on that like you'd see in Forza Horizon 3 or 4, which they did end up adding onto that stuff. And I feel like if you do enjoy off-roading and different things, I really do think this game is still really fun. And especially in some ways, I kind of felt like it was a bit underrated. And that's the thing. Let me explain why I do feel this way, because in a lot of ways, I was noticing people saying that, oh, you may not enjoy the off-roading as much as you like Forza Horizon 3, or maybe this game may not offer as many things as Forza Horizon 3 or 4. And this game is older. It's a little bit different with its design and the overall map layout and stuff. But I gotta admit, guys, I feel like in some ways for me it was underrated in the type of way that I thought I'd feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I was going into this going, man, well, off-roading's going to suck in this game. It's probably not even good. There's probably nothing to do in it. But turns out I was completely wrong. There is plenty of off-road events, a lot of great off-road vehicles you can use, and one of my favorite things about it is how you can upgrade your vehicles and add things to them. I kind of wish I knew about the off-road tires a little bit earlier, as funnily enough, I didn't add them till later on, so a lot of the footage you guys are seeing me racing with these vehicles in the background is me not using the tires, just putting that out there, which I was kind of laughing at. I was like, all right, I can actually use the tires. That would have been good to know a while ago. But either way, though, without the tires, I was still surprised because it was still fun to off-road, and the handling still felt really good, which was really surprising to me. I was not thinking the off-roading or like the handling of it was going to feel as good as it did. In some ways, I was going, okay, well, this game's from 2014, right? It'll probably be very dated, probably won't feel very good. And again, I was completely wrong on that thought. But you know what the funny part is? I do also kind of wonder in ways if people would feel similar, because you look at this game and know that it's probably older, so you probably assume that maybe the handling might feel dated, or maybe it's not as good as the newer games. But off-roading in this game and then jumping on something like even Forza Horizon 5, because it's what, 7 years newer, something like that, 2021, 2014. I think I'm doing math decently here. But before I was getting a bit off track there, one of the biggest things I noticed, though, is simply down to the off-roading in Forza Horizon 2 feeling very good for 2014. It is really fun and enjoyable even in that game. And yes, if you are using like a muscle car off-road or a supercar, it's honestly still fun. Does it make a ton of sense? Not exactly, but it's still fun. You know what I mean? The biggest thing I noticed, though, is I could see where they were going with the handling model of the off-roading in Forza Horizon 2, even jumping on the 5th game. And I think that's really awesome, because it still feels very good in this game. It feels grounded. It doesn't feel like terrible compared to the newer games or something. You can kind of tell they were getting into that more in this game, and I think they did a really good job, and then they built upon it in 3, 4, and 5, and it kind of makes me mad excited for 6 to see what off-road areas we will have in Japan, dude. I am mad excited for it. I can't wait to see the off-road in like the Alpine region in the snow and doing different like dirt races and rally cars and driving up the mountains and doing all kinds of stuff. It makes me really excited for that game, but it also made me appreciate the way they are doing this more playing Forza Horizon 2, because even in this game, off-roading in this, for me, being a brand new player and stuff in 2026, never playing this game ever, first impressions, at least for the off-roading, I love it. I think it's super fun and entertaining. I would say, like, again, you may not have the biggest area of off-road places you'd see in the other newer games, but it's still really enjoyable, it's fun, and you'll probably have a good time with the cars. The one thing I wish, though, is, honestly, dude, I really wish I could get some of the DLCs in this, because there was the off-road Charger. I wanted that car from Fast and Furious so bad. And the fact that it's in this game, I was like, oh man, I wish I can get that, but I have no idea if there's a way to get the key for that. And if you can get it, is it even going to be a safe key? And can you probably use it without something happening like malware or some weird crazy stuff? I don't know, dude. I know there's a lot of different sites and all that, but I don't know if I really want to take the risk on trying to grab a key for one of the DLCs, even though I really wanted that off-road Charger. But even without that car, using something like the Raptor or many of the other cars with off-road tires, they still feel very good. And I can even find myself kind of just racing around and like exploring different trails and stuff, whether it's in like the Subaru or the truck or whichever vehicle you might be using. At least you can run the off-road tires. I do see that as being a big win, because at least you'll have more grip. I honestly thought it was part of the DLC. But one thing I really do have to admit is, if you guys are looking at off-roading in Forza Horizon 2, or maybe you thought about playing the game again, maybe you want to explore, I would recommend really exploring the map, because there are some fun trails around the areas that are not marked on the map that look like a trail. I would highly recommend them, because some of them really do go for a while, and they are really fun to mess around with. I spent a lot of time in this. I even found a few in the Subaru, and I was kind of just like, all right, let's go find some trails and let's rally around and just mess around a bit. And boom, 45 minutes to an hour later, and I'm still doing this. It's kind of hilarious how something like this could lock you in a game that's this old. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of wild, but it also shows you that even though the games are older, they still got that hidden gem to them. And even with this game being in 2014, the off-roading for me was amazing, but showed me how they built upon that in Forza Horizon 3, 4, and 5, and makes me mad excited for Forza Horizon 6. Do let me know what y'all think about the off-roading in Forza Horizon 2. Do you like it? What are some things you did it? I would say the biggest thing most people might say is probably along the lines of the map maybe having closed off areas. But it kind of does make sense with the initial design of it. They did again build upon that, which I think is awesome. And honestly, guys, I cannot wait to see what they do in Forza Horizon 6. We can only imagine the areas we will have for off-roading. So if you guys are an off-roading head like me, there is plenty of fun to be had in every single Forza, even Forza Horizon 2.